Hi, my name is Rebecca McGee, and this video is the third video in a series over pension and dropback strategies. This video came as a result of many requests we have received to have a video recording of this webinar that we did March 2026. The original webinar was done by Lisa Dawson, who works with me. And so in our first two videos, we covered quite a bit. As always, investments are not FDIC insured. They may lose value. Please ask us questions if you have any questions about how your investments work or what the rules are regarding withdrawal. In the last few videos, we went over pre-retirement tips, how to build your retirement paycheck, and then we talked about the different steps that you would take, gather your resources, create a punch list. And then we talked about some risks to that retirement paycheck, some things to watch out for and to be careful about as you are preparing for retirement and throughout retirement. And so in this third video, we're going to really hone in on what do you need to know about your drop back money. So before you ride off into the sunset, let's talk about any future lump sum or drop money that you have. We're going to talk about how you take withdrawals from your 457 and some things to consider. So first of all, we've observed that your budget and spending habits tend to stay stable over time. So if you are somebody who's already living paycheck to paycheck, way more likely you're going to live paycheck to paycheck. If you're somebody who incurs a lot of debt, you're probably used to spending more than you have. So it's likely that if you don't make some drastic changes, that's still going to be how you live in retirement. And so you need to think about that when it comes to your dropback money. We see a lot of people who want to use dropback money to pay off debt, and we are big fans of paying off debt. We are big fans of you going into retirement as debt-free as you can possibly go into retirement. But we want to remind you that 457 money, dropback money, is pre-tax money. You haven't paid tax on that money yet. So every dollar that you take out as a withdrawal is taxable income. Taking big withdrawals all at once in the same tax year can significantly impact your tax bracket. And so be mindful of that. It may sound great. Gosh, I've got a ton of debt. I'm just going to pay it all off and I won't have any money left, but I also won't have that debt. Sounds great until you recognize that if you incur more debt, you don't have another drawback coming. And so the other thing is to keep in mind, we always have people who ask about paying off their home and they say, hey, I'm just going to take 200,000 out, pay off my house, then I'll be debt free. Again, love a paid off house. $200,000 is a lot of money to take from your money all at once, and all of it becomes taxable income. So now your income is that money that you took out, 200,000, all income you earned for the year, all pension money you're going to have for the rest of the year, and any income your spouse is earning this year. And so super important to keep those tax consequences in mind. One way that we sort of minimize those tax consequences is trying to stretch big withdrawals over 2 years. So if you insist on taking a big withdrawal, could you take a little bit in December and a little bit in January? So at least you're stretching it over 2 tax years. You are allowed withdrawals from your 457 after you are separated from service from the city of Oklahoma City. You can take those withdrawals however you need to. You can take lump sums, you can take big chunks all at once, and you can take monthly amounts and have Voya send you a consistent amount each month. You are in control of what that payment amount is. And again, we can help you look at that in an integrated way with how much you need extra to make your retirement paycheck work for you, considering your pension and any other monthly benefits that you have. Timing and size of withdrawals matters a lot. Again, taxes market risk. And so ask us questions if you need help with that. Most people will roll their dropback money into their 457 or into an IRA account to avoid having all of their dropback money taxed all at once. And so when they do that, they have more control over the tax consequences of that money as long as they're taking withdrawals in a strategic way. So rollovers into and out of your 457 are allowed. You can roll your dropback money into your 457. We can help you with an IRA account to roll your dropback money in. But it is important to keep in mind those tax consequences. Rolling in, there's no cap. So dropback money, you can roll all of it or as much as all of it into your 457 or into an IRA, and there's no limit on that. If you need help with managing how that money is invested or planning ahead for what you do, then we can absolutely help with that. And one thing we want to keep in mind, again, tax and spending habits, think about yourself and what's going to be most beneficial to you over the long term. Maybe maybe paying off debt is a big part of your plan, but let's do it strategically. Accumulated leave payout. So I want to say clearly, there's no limit on how much of your dropback you put into your 457 or an IRA account. Your accumulated leave or mastering out money, there is a limit because it is considered a contribution, not a rollover. And so you are limited by the contribution maximum for each year, which is $32,500 if you're over age 50. And so you may defer that, but you need to talk to Angel Odom in the City of Oklahoma City Retirement Office or talk to your payroll person and make sure to plan ahead for that accumulated leave payout. So you can defer that and save some tax money on that. Angel would also tell you they have to do a higher withholding tax on that. Typically, they have to do a higher income tax withholding on accumulated leave payout. So a lot of people like to defer that money into their 457 plan, or at least some of it into their 457 plan, so they don't have that high tax withholding coming out of it. But you are limited by your maximum for the year. A question we get a lot is, should I stop my contributions in January so that I can put all of my leave payout in? And to that, we would say there's some real benefit in investing incrementally. So again, you're buying more when prices are lower. And so it's not necessarily a significant value to stop your contributions in January just to be able to put more of your leave payout in. Again, also that causes you to have a raise in what you get each month right before retirement, which isn't always helpful from a habit forming standpoint. And so keep that in mind, please. Plan ahead. This is something you work with your payroll person on, you fill out forms. It is not something you do later. And so please, please, please plan ahead. Ask questions of your retirement office. If you are planning on doing a leave payout, you're not the only one. They do it all the time. This is a really heavy portion of this presentation, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. And we will do a fourth video over the next portion of this webinar. So please let us know if you have questions and please stay tuned for another video.